Nice Micro Monday. Will AI-enabled navigation ruin traffic forever? So, if you have been following me on Mastodon, you might have noticed that I don't really keep car-based transportation systems in high regard, but for me, the advocacy for better public transport and carless transportation solutions to everywhere is similar to free software advocacy, that I like to advocate for the perfect solution. So I'd like to advocate for having free software everywhere, but I realize that we don't live in a perfect society. So in real life, sometimes we make compromises and sometimes we use proprietary software. And while in my personal life, I rarely have to drive, so I can take the bus to work, and I generally prefer to sit in the bus in the big leather chair, maybe doing some work, maybe watching some YouTube, maybe just sleeping while the bus takes me to work, and I don't have to do my own work driving just to get to work. But I realize that sometimes you might need a car to get to some place where maybe taking public transport is a bit more complicated, or maybe you have an itinerary which is just easier to have your personal vehicle that can take you directly from A to B to C to D, which was the situation for the last weekend, where I went to a wedding and then I also had to visit my in-laws. So we rented a small car and decided to drive down to the wedding place, which generally would take about 90 minutes. I drove there a few times previously. The bus generally takes 90 minutes to get there on the highway also. So my estimation was that if we leave maybe 2.5 hours before the wedding starts, we will get there even if there is a traffic jam in the morning. But what we didn't count in is that there would be a extraordinary big traffic jam, because it was the beginning of a 3-day weekend, and it seems like everyone and their mother in Seoul decided to just move to the countryside for the long weekend. So the navigation system first offered us 2 routes to take to where the wedding is. One would have been through the highway, which would have taken 3 hours, and then there was the other which just partially takes the highway and takes, or rather the expressway, I guess I should say, because the other is also some kind of the lesser, the primary roads that you would find them on OpenStreetMaps, or trunk roads, as they call it in Britain, and on OpenStreetMaps. So they're not the expressway, but just a regular national highway, I guess. And Korea has a very good expressway system which connects all the major cities, and there is also quite a good a national highway system which also connects the major cities with minor cities, and then you have all the secondary and tertiary roads that will connect to all the other localities. So we had in this car, we rented a traffic-aware satellite navigation system which could tell us how is the situation on the road. Of course, these systems can only tell you how the traffic is now. So as the day goes on and the traffic gets worse, the estimated time of arrival will change. And I have enough experience driving around in Korea that I know that once the highways clog up, you can generally take the side roads. If the freeways or the expressways are clogged up, you can take the national highways to get around, which is, the speed limit will be lower, but the less traffic will generally let you to drive through in a peaceful pace. So I selected the GPS to take me on the road with the less traffic, longer road, but faster based on the current traffic estimations. Of course, they turned out to be wrong, because this kind of the traffic aware system we have in the car, it basically has the 3 stages for each road: red, orange, and green. And green is when you can basically go the speed limit or close to the speed limit. Orange when it's starting to clog up, and red when it's clogged up a lot. But inside red, there is not many distinctions, and we ended up spending about 40 or 50 minutes in a 5-kilometer highway link, which would take us to the expressway. And I guess the red color does not really differentiate between 15 km per hour or 5 km per hour, which is a very big difference in time. So most of the distance we traveled on the regular national highways, but most of the time we actually spent on the expressways. If I consider the junction, the links that take you from the regular roads to the expressway, part of the expressway, then we definitely spent most of the time on the expressway on our down there. And then this made me think that, okay, so all the people who are going on the highway are stuck in the traffic. Are they not using the navigation system, which would offer you alternative routes, or are these navigation systems just default to the highway or the expressway anyways? Because we had to actively choose the quicker way rather than the shorter way when we chose our destination in the system. As I said, so as the time passes, the traffic situation changes, and these systems only calculate your time and your best option to go somewhere based on the current situation. So if there is a less dense situation ahead of you, which the traffic aware system will consider to be green, so people are going around the speed limit because the road is clean, but then there is a high density situation which you are stuck in, and maybe as you move forward, you take the traffic jam with you because you are not stuck in traffic, you are traffic. So you are part of the traffic, and as you move forward with the traffic, the situation ahead might be much worse once you get there than what is it right now. So I was thinking that, will this be better in prediction someday? So maybe we have all these AI systems which can generate you nice pictures or pretend to be able to do a conversation with you. And of course we have AI systems that suggest you all the crap, I guess, on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and things like that. But I guess if this is an AI revolution, we might have AI-based navigation systems also out quite soon, which will be much better at predicting the traffic situation up ahead. So maybe they will generally give you a better alternative route when there is a traffic jam. And this made me think about, and I'm using this made me think phrase the third time, I guess, if I count correctly, that will this be actually better or worse? Because nowadays, so most people will go with the shorter route, I guess, because that is what the GPS will offer you first. So you'll take the expressway, and if you get stuck in the expressway, you are stuck in the expressway. And maybe if you are like me, who doesn't mind driving on regular country roads, if the traffic situation is better, then I will force the navigation system to offer me a route over there. But once these systems get smarter, and will be more proactive in giving the driver maybe the fastest road, will this make things actually worse? I really meant to look up beforehand this video. I've seen a video in which someone demonstrates, and I will link it once I finish recording, demonstrates how actually cutting the fastest road will or can sometimes speed up the traffic in average. So maybe some people who could take the shortcut will have a worse experience. They will be slowed down, but in average, everyone will be sped up enough that the traffic flow will be better if we just cut the shortcut. So if a AI-enabled, very smart navigation system was in place, would it find the optimal solution that would decrease the average travel time for everyone on the road? Or, maybe you could get your own navigation system to find the optimal solution for you. But once people realize, or once the navigation systems realize that, okay, taking the regular country road instead of the expressway will be faster, then suddenly everyone will be moved towards that. And will that make the country road also clogged up and actually making that not faster anymore? I have a feeling that if we had a system in which tries to orchestrate a traffic flow that is good for everyone, that would be possible, but people would notice and people would realize, okay, if I could have this slip road where I could just get out to the regular country road, which is used by less people, then maybe I could beat the average and it would be better for me only. And of course, if enough people do that, then they will ruin it for each other. So it is kind of like once you've been stuck in like traffic for long enough, you start to think about, okay, what if I just like went off the road a little, go to the side, to the curbs, and then just go past everyone? Or maybe what if my car could just fly for a little and I could just fly over this traffic jam and land in the other side? But of course, these kind of fantasies would only result in positive outcomes if it is only you who is doing it. So I wonder if we had the same problem with traffic-aware, artificially intelligent navigation systems, that maybe the navigation systems would generally offer you the road that will give the best traffic flow. But if there is one navigation system that like lets you cheat the system and give you the road that if you take, or just a few of you take, then it will be faster, will this kind of alternative, more selfish system be so much popular that it would ruin things for everyone? Nice macro from the editing room here. So what I forgot to mention is something similar already happened in Budapest the first time these traffic-aware routing applications became introduced, because in the city in the morning there is a lot of traffic jams, and these traffic-aware routing applications started routing people through like supposedly quiet neighborhoods to escape the traffic jam, for which of course the local governments decided to reduce the speeds in these neighborhoods, and later they also prohibited through traffic in general. But these updates got to the apps a little bit too late, so some people got confused and got some fines for that. So back to the original video. This is what I was thinking while we were stuck in traffic for hours. So what ended up happening is actually the 90-minute drive, which the navigation first told me would be like 3 hours, became 4.5 hours. And we actually missed the wedding that justified the whole thing of renting a car. So if we didn't go to the wedding, just go straight to my in-laws, I would probably just elected to take the bus and maybe get a taxi to the bus terminal or something like that. Because in that case, if I'm not wearing a suit and I don't have to take like all these clothes with me, I would have a smaller pack anyway. So, you know, we ended up missing the wedding because of the vehicular traffic that actually I used to justify to go in a personal vehicle over there. And of course, we got there at the time when the reception was over. So my friends were leaving the reception. That's when we arrived. Luckily, we could still have food. And if you want to know how this is possible and how Korean weddings look like, just ask me in the comments and maybe I will tell you about that in another video. So that's it. So we chose to drive a car because we thought that it's going to be better than taking public transport over there. But so many people ended up choosing the car because they thought that would be the better way to get to their destinations, that no one ended up getting to their destinations in time. And that's it for today's video. If you have any comments or questions, you can always leave them down below. Give me a like if you enjoyed this rant, and subscribe for the channel if you want to hear more rants or see more tutorials. I might do more science-related videos in the future because I made some interesting materials for the classes I've been teaching recently, and maybe I will make some of the better ones I will turn into video in the future. Subscribe if you want any of my future content, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.